Oh, let him have it.
I did. Too fast, huh?
Just let him take it.
What's that?
Just let him take it.
Yeah.
So, for example,
What's that?
I said, for example, I'll just show you. Then I'll give you the physics of it, okay? Okay, so let's say I cast out there. I don't even see it.
I don't see it either. Yeah. I'm having a hard time with some of the shadow.
No, I don't even see it. Right there.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. There's a funky little coil here.
So I cast out there. There it is.
Yep.
Now, if a fish comes like yours, came up and took it,
Right.
okay, he takes it, watch my rod.
Just
Gentle. So here's the math. In this river, 60% of the time, okay, the trout are going to miss your fly.
how interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you just lay your fly out there and do nothing, okay, that's why I didn't set the hook on those other guys. If I just leave it out there and do nothing, fish might come up and miss it or grab it. Okay, so typically it's a 50-50 shot, okay? So that means you got a 50% chance. So if we take that 50%, right? We take that 50% now, okay? So now we have a fish that is going to take it, right? And then,
There it is.
see that? Okay?
Yeah.
That's how that works. See that big fish?
Yeah, the big fish coming in.
Yeah. There he is.
There he is.
Hey, welcome back. We've all done it. We can't catch those fish. They're just banging on us. That's what this video is all about. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike at Northwest School of Fly Fishing, the old fish hobo. And this video really is about attacking that problem of being unable to hook that fish. We've all done it. All of us have miss. We've all done it. This video is especially put together to show you not only what we're doing wrong, but the physics and the math behind how we can do it better, what makes it better, so that you understand it's not just some gimmick, but it's a proven fact that you could be better with a fly rod, both dry fly fishing and nymphing. There's nothing worse than having your fly floating down the river, have some trout explode on it, and you miss it. That's what this is all about. First, you got to understand that there's two types of take on a trout on the surface. And I know you hear all kinds of stuff. This one's slurping emergers, and this one's taking it dry, and this one's doing this, and this one's doing that. I'm not about that. I'm about the science about this. I'm about the math, the physics behind what's going on here. And we see our fly floating down the river, and we see a trout come up and grab it, and we miss it. And it's just, we miss another one, and we miss another one. And, at the end of the day, you caught a few fish, but gosh, how many did you miss? God, I can't believe how many I've missed. God, I've missed as much as I've caught, and so on and so on and so on. This is really about understanding what's going on so it can make you better and improve those odds. So there's two types of strikes, okay? There's a fast water strike on your dry fly, and there's a slow water take on your dry fly. You should catch 100% of every trout that comes up and just slurps on your fish, or on your fly, and you set the hook. That's almost a done deal. That's the easiest strike to catch, is those really soft, slow roll over on your trout, and you have them. The reality is that most of our fly fishing is done in really fast water, especially almost all of your freestone river dry fly fishing is done on fast moving water where the current's really quick. And here, the second strike is a very fast strike. It's very violent. It's very wham, and you're trying to do the same thing, and that's the one that we really want to understand a little bit. So to take that into consideration a little bit and show you some math about that, understand that in fast-moving water, trout have learned. Now, trout have no cognitive thought, but they do have the ability to learn, and they have learned that I'm hungry. Here comes a fly. I better eat it now, or it's gone. So it's a very quick thing. Why? Because it's moving fast. And it's like wham, and then they're down. So it has to be a quick, fast thing. If it's not, the fly's gone down the river. So it's a very fast and violent strike. And the reality is, assuming that half of those strikes are misses, the trout actually miss your fly. So if you don't do anything but just watch your fly, 1 out of 2 is going to take it. The other strike, you're just going to watch your fly go by. I know I've done it many times. So you have a 50-50 chance of really that fish hitting that fly. It has nothing to do with you. It's 50-50 chance of of that fish catching that fly. That's not on you. So let's not worry about the 50% that the trout miss. Let's worry about the 50% that the trout ingests the fly. That's where we're losing fish. We can't catch a fish that doesn't take our fly. So we take that 50% that the fish ingested your trout. You should catch 90 to 100% of those fish. Okay, but the reality is you're only catching 2 of those fish. So of the 50%, you're at 20% catch rate. Where you should be is at 90 to 100%. So instead of you catching 2 fish all day, or in that session, or over the course of a day you might catch 5, when you could have caught or should have caught 20. That's the part we want to really understand and work on. So when you break it down, okay, on the frustration of losing fish to taking flies, it's always you're missing them or the trout got off. The reality is you can improve that. You can make yourself more successful with a dry fly. Okay, so the reality is, let's talk about that trout that took that fly and ingested it. And that's the part we're really talking about, that 50% that the trout ingests your fly. First we got to take a look at that. Trout don't grab your fly. They don't go up and grab your fly. They just open their mouths and kind of suck it in, and then they go down with it. That's how they take it. So lots of going on here in a really fast strike. It's wham, they got to get it and get down. So the reality is that fly is in their mouth. And what I call, I was raised on the Kern River. I raised fly fishing on the Kern River in California, the southern section of the Sequoia National Forest. And the way I learned how to fish was when a fish took your fly, you went like, yeah. And you know how many guys I see doing that on YouTube or on the river? Okay, what you're doing there, what we call the Kern River jerk. I still do it. The Kern River jerk, it's just a curse. And what you're doing is that trout is actually ingesting your fly, and you're actually pulling it out. Just like that. You're pulling it out. So that trout, in that 50%, if that trout has ingested your fly, you're just pulling it out. Or you're sticking that trout and then you're ripping and pulling until the tippet breaks, breaking your fly off in the trout. And that's happened to all of us. Happens to us all the time. Therein lies the real thing here. And you can get takes on all over the place on setting the hook, and you're going to get guys telling you all kinds of different things, but they're not focusing on the real science of this. And the reality is, you have to understand this. I said it earlier, trout have little or no cognitive thought. You know, they have a brain half size of a pea. We have this massive dome on us with a brain inside. We have the ability to think. They don't have the ability to think. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is and you'll see, I'll demonstrate this in the video for you, is that when you do that quick movement, watch, and you hear guys say, use your wrist. It's the same thing. What you're doing is it takes a thousandth of a second, if that, 5,000ths of a second, for you to go like that and have the fly go immediately out of its mouth, caught and break off. Immediately, a thousandth of a second. What has it got to do with cognitive thought? Well, trout have no cognitive thought. So if they ingest your fly, they don't know within a thousandth of a second or 2,000ths of a second or a second, maybe 2 or 3 seconds, that fly is not food. By that time, they've already gone down, and then they go. That's the part you need to understand. But we get so caught up in what we're seeing. We're seeing this fish go bam, and you want to go bam right back to it, and you whap, whap, whap every time, and you just keep missing. It's discipline. It's discipline to let that fish take your fly, and then go. I got it. Okay. That's the science of this. That's what we're doing wrong. Now let's talk about how to do this right. Okay. How do we do it right? I always say, and I'm not one of these guys that cast really fast. I'm a slow caster. So this is kind of a bad analogy, but I have to say it in a way that makes sense to other anglers. They say, well, how fast should I set the hook? I always say, just set it as fast as a normal cast. So what I'm telling you is set the hook as fast as a normal cast in half. So if your normal pickup is that, your normal set would be like this. You'll hear all kinds of count to 3, count to 1, pause. All those are good. All those are accomplishing the same mission. But it's very hard for us to do that when you just want it to match the intensity, aggressiveness of the trout with your fly rod. It's really hard to get out of that mentality. The second way to do it is what we call a slip set. And a slip set is when you're holding the fly line in your hand, your rod right here, and the fish takes your fly, and you set with the fly line. Some guys are really good. This is how I do it. I set with the fly line and just raise my rod tip. It's just a real slow movement. You'll see that demonstrated on the video. And when you see that red fly, you can understand immediately you're just pulling the fly out of its mouth or you're breaking off. Okay. Based on the concept that trout have no cognitive thought, that it takes them more than a second to at least understand that that's not food. And they don't do it at the surface. They're going down with it before they spit it back out and they're back in line, okay? Based on understanding that, then when you look at the simple set of this, that's 1 second. 1 second. I've done this many times where I've watched my fly go down the river and I watch a fish just explode on it and I don't do anything and it just floats on. Roll it out there again. Of course, the fishing's really good at the time. I've already caught a bunch. And I watch the fly go down again like that, and a fish explodes on it and misses it, and my fly drifts down the river. And I've done this many times too, where I've seen my fly float on, a trout explodes on, I don't do anything. And then just set. That's the key. The key is patience. The key is not to get into the hurried rip like you see. And my point to you today is all over YouTube and social media, you're watching these guys in the videos, and they see the fly floating down the river, and wham, man, they stick them, and you automatically think that's how I have to do it, but they don't tell you how many they lost. You know, they're only filming what they catch. It'd be a boring video if all you saw was them missing fish and cussing and going on down the road. So that's really what this video is all about, and I hope you enjoy some of the things in the video, but it's all about making you a better dry fly fisherman. Nymph fishing is almost the same thing. Okay, nymph fishing, when we get it's more of a tug and a tug back and you have a fish. So it's not really that bad. But dry fly fishing is what we all love to do, and that's really what this video is about, is making you a better fly fisherman, period. Increasing that catch rate from 20% to say 90 or even 80% of that 50%. And now you know the science, and now you know the physics of it. And that's what I try to do in my videos, throw some instructional stuff in there. And every once in a while I'll put a video together where I just like catching fish, and here you go. But the whole point of everything is we always strive to improve. And I've been fly fishing for over 60 years, and I always try to improve. And yes, I am inflicted with the Kern River jerk too. So we're all human. That's why I say we all do it. Even I do it. And I go, you big dummy. Let it roll through there. Okay. You're the old hobo. You can handle this. Yeah, that's me too. Be as it may, I hope you get something out of this. And for you new guys in fishing, hopefully this will change before you get into the curse. And for all you hobos out there, you're laughing at me going, yeah, that's me. And hopefully you'll kind of understand the dynamics of this. In any case, I hope I see you somewhere this summer on the rivers.